I am I love this topic. So I am really excited to be able to address this. I can talk about all kinds of things, but teaching your kids schooling from home, that's something I really love. And I will tell you that I found myself in the same place that you're all finding yourself about, oh my gosh, what was it? 18 years ago. Um, I was kind of, I wouldn't say forced into homeschooling, but I really feel like I was nudged. My son had been asking me for quite some time, for months. He had been asking to homeschool, and he had been having some problems with some of the kids at school, and I was trying to help him navigate through that. But I don't know, it was like all the little hints were being sent out there. And then one day, I found out that he developed a medical condition, and he wasn't going to be able to go to school. And so I went to the school district and I said, hey, my son has this condition. I want to find out about homebound. How do we do that? And she said, well, this could be a long-term thing, and this homebound is for short-term. And I said, well, what am I supposed to do? And she said, well, have you considered homeschooling? And I'm like, huh, that's funny. My son has been asking me. Well, right around the same time, I had a friend whose husband was in the State Department, who just came back to the country. They'd been all over the world, and they had been homeschooling their children because they were in China, they were in Indonesia, all these different places, and they wanted to be able to teach their kids at home, so they were making sure they were getting the educational resources that they wanted their children to have. And so she'd been homeschooling for like 12 years, and she had talked about, maybe you should homeschool. And it's like, why is everybody telling me this? Well, then you're suddenly in the position where you are. And I will tell you, the thing that made all the difference for me was having that friend. And I called her up and I told her what the situation was, and she was almost giddy, like doing somersaults. Yay! And she said, come over to the house after church on Sunday, and I'll help you. And so I went to her house and we talked for about a half an hour to an hour. She gave me incredible advice and things that I still hold on to and tell every other mom now is this the standard, here's your talk, here's your pep talk, you can do this. And then she handed me a piece of paper and a pencil. We went through and worked out an outline. And when I left her house that day around 11 o'clock at night, I had a bag of books to get me through the next 2 weeks, a schedule, and a letter to send to the state. I was fully equipped and prepared to go home and start schooling. I had no idea what I was doing, but I felt like I could pick up the phone and talk to my friend if I ever got stuck or felt like I didn't know what I was doing. Here's the funny thing. Um, at the end of the first week, I was sold, hook, line, and sinker. I was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. I was learning. I was finding the best resources. I'm telling you that I don't know what happened in the public schools somewhere along the line where we didn't get the best books or the best stories or the coolest educational resources, but somehow all the homeschoolers seem to have it. And so I was really excited to find all these things. And I ended up bringing all of my kids home. And so from 2001 until, well, I'm still homeschooling today. My last one is 16, and a couple of them have gone to college. One of them is works at he works at a rest home as a marketing director for this series of senior citizens homes. And I mean, it's just crazy how everything just worked out. And one of the things that my friend told me, the most valuable piece of advice that she gave me that I can give you, was don't do it like everybody else. Homeschool does not look like public school. It just doesn't. And my husband realized that very quickly after we started homeschooling. He came home early one day and all the kids are laying on the couch and they're, reading books and circling things on papers. And he's like, why aren't the kids schooling? And I'm like, they are. He's like, what do you mean they are? They should be at their table. They're wearing their books. And I'm like, dude, this is home. You can school on the couch. So it was pretty cool to be able to realize that schooling from home is actually being at home and learning and doing fun things. So I caught the bug really quickly. And here's some things that I just want to share with you. This is an incredible opportunity to figure out what your own children's interests are. What are their talents? What what do they want to do? And maybe they don't even know that yet, but they have interest in things. So you just kind of toss things out there and see what takes, what sticks, and something's going to stick with each child. One child may be very interested in geology, like I had one that loved rocks, and so we got him a rock tumbler, and he thought that was the greatest thing ever. If I'd got a rock tumbler from my daughter who likes to write, she'd have looked at me and thought I was crazy. So for her, we bought her a subscription to an online magazine about how to read and write articles. And so we just did different things, and as we figured out who our children were. What an awesome opportunity we have to do that right now. When we send them to school, the teachers, the school system, they all tell us what our children have to learn. They tell our children what they have to learn. And they may have no interest in half the things that they're learning. And they probably are things that they won't ever need. But now we have an opportunity to figure out what is it that they're interested in. So when they go back to school, we can help them in that path, whether it's through the school system or through supplementing at home and through community resources. And there's a plethora of those. So the internet has become like, I don't know, not just a homeschool mom's best dream, but a mom's best dream. Anything you want, it's there. And so kind of one of the main things that we do in homeschooling is called Google it. So when my kids come and ask a question, I say, well, even if I know the answer, I'll say, I don't know, go Google it and come back and tell me what the answer is. That's schooling, believe it or not. And sometimes they get so interested in the subject that they keep going. They'll keep looking for more and more information. They'll ask for books that they can read. It's pretty exciting to watch that. Math and science. Okay, I will just tell you that when it comes to math and science, there are all kinds of resources and in all of these subjects, and we have them available on our website. Under the COVID-19 Support Center, there's a whole section on schooling from home. We have a big list with all kinds of online resources, web games, and everything you could possibly imagine in every subject. All of that is true, and it's available. But there's also really fun things that you can do. And I'm in the process of compiling some of the things that we've done in our home to put some videos together and just show you some of these resources. But really, all you have to do is Google it. Just Google kitchen science experiments with kids. My kids have even found these and brought them to me. In fact, they scared me a couple of times with some of their experiments. So here's just an idea, okay? You take a green grape, one green grape, you put it in the microwave, and you push the microwave on 10 seconds. Just watch and see what happens. I'm not going to tell you. Yes, it's completely safe, but don't let your kids do it alone. It's really cool what happens. So go find out yourself. Here's another one. I was going to ask my husband for help with this, but he's on a call because he's working from home. So here's another one. Okay, you take a little just light stick, you light the lighter, you open an orange with one of those cool orange zippers, and when the spray comes out, it has like a flame that comes out. It's pretty cool. Stuff like that. There's all kinds of things like that you can do at home. When they say, hey kids, don't do this at home, do it at home. It's totally fun. As long as mom's there. So mom and dad, have fun with your kids. There's so many cool things that you can do. History and geography. Incredible opportunity to teach our kids things that they probably aren't learning in school, because history has pretty much been taken out of school or made so boring our kids aren't interested in it. But history is one of the most exciting subjects there is. You're learning about what happened in the past to help you better prepare for the future. But cool stories. The Middle Ages is one of my favorite time period. I love learning about the Middle Ages. Everything from the Renaissance to the Reformation, the incredible things that were happening during that time. I just can't get enough of the Middle Ages. I don't know what it is about that. Because it kind of leads to America. History stories about our founding patriots, our heroes in history, all through history. There are great places to find this. One of my favorite websites is called Libraries of Hope. Yes, it's on our website. You don't have to take notes. Everything I'm telling you is on our website, or will be if it's not there yet. So Libraries of Hope is an incredible resource. Marlene Peterson is the publisher of this and founder of Libraries of Hope. And she has gone through the internet archives. She spent decades going through the internet archives, finding all of the best books on every subject. My favorite ones are the history, I won't lie. But there's all kinds of great books, from science to literature to poetry. But the history ones, she has a Freedom series that you can buy. But here's the cool thing. All of those stories are on the internet. They're archived. They're beautiful stories that were written during the golden age of literature, the late 1800s and early 1900s, when people wrote for the purpose of promoting faith, virtue, patriotism, those characters and virtues that we want to nurture in our children. All of those books promote that, but they also tell the stories of who we are through the people who lived there. And they're all available free. And not only are they all available free online, but she has categorized them by subject, by time period, by topic and geographical area. I mean, it's incredible. And it's all there available for you. And the link is on our website. Then Heritage Foundation has just put together an awesome link with all kinds of resources on where to get historical information. See, Teach Civics. And of course, Hillsdale has a plethora of video series from economics to public policy, and they just released one called The Story of America, Hope of the World. And they're doing that course right now, and they have an essay contest to go with it with a $500 prize. So there are all kinds of things out there. They're always out there, but it's like everybody's kind of stepping up to the plate and saying, how can we help you? Because here's the thing. The main thing that I realized, I'm already doing it. Even before I was schooling from home, I was already schooling and teaching my children. Mothers are the first teachers. I was already doing this. So when I started, I thought, I can't do this. And now I realize I already was. And that's what you are. You're already doing it. You've already taught your kids to tie their shoes. You've taught them hot and cold, right and wrong, ABCs. Now you can teach them these things. A few more quick things I want to throw out there is there's teacher mom resources that we have available. Things like you can schedule calendars and put calendars together, schedules, menus, make your own crossword puzzles. You will be amazed at what's available out there. And then just a couple of projects. Some of the things that we've done in our home, mini Olympics. And the javelin throw was toothpicks into cheese. It's just funny. We have all those I'm putting up on the website too. This is a great time to get together with your family and create books about your family. Mixbook, Shutterfly, they're both digital platforms where you can create your own books and with your pictures, and they have great graphics. This is a fun project you guys can do together. We've created a lot of those, and the kids love to read them. And you create them, you can see them online, but you can also order them in hard copy. And you know what have we got but time to gather pictures and do these little projects that we haven't been able to get to. They can create a me book about themselves. And then one of my favorite things is lap books. And lap books are just, everybody's got these things hanging around their house, the little folders. And this was one that I did on the medieval times, because of course that's my favorite time period. And you just create these little pages, and they keep flipping out. So you've got, they can pull out these little things here, so the kids can be as creative as they want to be, and they can do it about themselves. They can do it about their family. You can do your family history. I'm just telling you, what we have been given is a beautiful opportunity to connect with our families in a way that we didn't even realize was possible. So just remember these two things. One, you don't do it like everybody else. Schooling from home does not look like schooling in the public school system. Don't set your kids at the table in front of a computer with a pen and a paper. They're going to get bored and they won't like you. But if you can sit them on a couch and give them a good book, sit down and read these books together, just do fun things together. They're going to learn more than you could possibly imagine. You're going to learn along with them, and you're going to have a great time. The second thing, remember that this is an opportunity for you to figure out what they love to do. Get to know your kids, their interests, and then you can continue to follow those when they go back to school. And final thing is, yes, moms, you absolutely can do this. Not only can you do it, you can rock this. So go out there and get going with the fun school, and we're here to help you anytime you need us.